Okay guys, so I have this family pack of chicken thighs that I just cleaned up. I cut off the fat and the extra skin and all that. And I have this bottle of Italian, we're not dressing people, but they were giving this away for free at the local grocery store. So of course we got it. And then my husband bought this off the clearance rack because he said it was a great deal. And I was like, well, it's not a great deal if it's something you don't use. Like, we don't eat duck sauce. What would we use this for? And it's not like we eat Chinese food that often where we would use half a gallon of duck sauce. So I'm trying to think of ways to use duck sauce. So what I'm going to do is take some duck sauce, take some Italian dressing. I'm going to make a marinade, and I'm going to marinate the chicken, and I'm going to make like a glazed oven roasted chicken for dinner. So let's get started. Okay, so I shook up the dressing really well. I'm going to put about yay much. I feel like this would be really good on pork chops. But anyway, so I did about half the bottle of Italian dressing. This was 11 ounces. So it's about 5 ounces of Italian dressing. And I'm just going to do some big scoops of this. I feel like this is going to go well together because you have the sweet duck sauce and then the really savory Italian dressing. So we'll see. Okay, and I'm just going to emulsify this because I want the duck sauce to get well incorporated with the dressing. All right, let's taste it. I mean, this is dressing and duck sauce, so you can eat it without cooking it. Let's see. Mmm! That is so good. This chicken's going to be amazing. So now I'm going to take the mixture of duck sauce and Italian dressing, and I'm going to pour it all over the chicken, just like this. Okay. And I'm just going to make sure that everything is coated in that yummy mixture. Ideally, I should have done this in the morning and left it in the fridge all day, but I didn't plan on making this tonight, so kind of just happened. Okay, guys, so I'm going to use this big roasting pan to cook the chicken thighs, but because I don't feel like ruining my pan, because when you're using duck sauce or anything sweet, it has sugar, so it can get sticky and burn to the bottom. So I'm going to put some parchment paper, and then I'm going to put this on top because the thighs can be somewhat fatty, and even though I cut off a lot of the excess fat, I still don't want them sitting in their grease. So I'm going to put it on this rack. The parchment paper is going to protect my pan, so I don't have to like use a drill to clean it later. And I'm going to put these right on here so the fat can drip off. They can get nice and crispy. Get a method to my madness. Ideally, I would cook these in the air fryer, but the air fryer that I have smokes like crazy when you're cooking a fatty meat. And these chicken thighs are generally fatty, and I don't feel like having a house full of smoke. So I'm doing it this way. And I think it's going to turn out well. Make room on the pan. Just like that. And I have one more. All right. I'm going to save this marinade because as they roast, maybe I can like baste them a little bit. We'll see. Maybe I'll throw it out and make another small batch just to baste it at the end. All right. So I'm going to put these in the oven at 425, and I'm going to put them in there for 35 minutes, and then I'll check them. Chicken has been in the oven for about 20 minutes. I'm going to take it out right now, and I made a small fresh batch of the duck sauce and the Italian dressing, and I'm going to brush it on there, like glaze it, and then pop it back in the oven for another 20. That smells so good. Okay, so I'm just going to glaze, put some of this right on top, It didn't marinate all day. Ideally, I should have done this in the morning and let it marinate all day. But since I didn't, because it just popped in my head looking around in the fridge, I'm just going to baste it with some fresh duck sauce and Italian dressing. But I can tell you that the house smells amazing. And I can also tell you that I am super happy that I put the parchment paper under here, because if you look over here, that would have been burned to the pan. And that would be a nightmare to scrub free, or you gotta use crazy harsh chemicals. So a little piece of parchment paper does the trick. Okay, so I'm gonna pop this back in the oven for another 20, and I'm gonna give it one little tiny brush later when I take it out, and this is gonna be delicious. Okay, so I have some broccoli that I'm about to simmer in here. It's frozen broccoli. And then I'm gonna season it. I'm not sure yet how. I'll figure that out when I'm closer to taking it out. And in here, I have some pasta that I'm gonna do like a little bit of a parm sauce on. And I know you're gonna say you're weird or gross, but I have some sweet potato and asparagus left from, I don't even know what we had. I don't remember. It was like 2 or 3 days ago. And I'm gonna mix this into the pasta. And it's just gonna give it more substance and some color and some deliciousness. No sense in letting this go to waste. Okay guys, so I decided to do a thinly sliced garlic, olive oil, paprika sauce to pour over the steamed broccoli. This is something that is typical of the northern, I don't know if it's the northern or all of Spain, but at least I know the northern region eats that, because we used to eat this in our house growing up, and that's where my dad's side of the family is from. So I'm just using my mandolin here to cut the garlic. Just be super careful when you do this, because very easy to cut your fingers. Okay, so I just did about, I don't know, 5 cloves of garlic. And now I'm gonna put some olive oil in the pan, and I'm gonna put some paprika, and it's gonna make a yummy sauce. Okay, so I'm gonna do about maybe a 1/4 cup of olive oil, just like that. Let it heat up really good, and I'm gonna put the garlic in there. Okay. Add 2 bay leaves to this, because that's gonna give it really good flavor. And you don't want the garlic to get burned, but you want it toasty. And then once the garlic is toasty, you're gonna turn it off, and you're gonna let it cool just a little bit. And you're gonna mix in some paprika, and that's it. That's your sauce. And you can also do a splash of vinegar. It just gives it like a really great brightness. And I'm actually gonna do that. Some people do it, some people don't, but I love the bright, strong flavors. So this is almost done. I'm gonna turn it off in a few minutes, because you want the garlic toasty, but not burned. So I'm gonna just keep moving it. All right, that is good. So I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna let it cool slightly. I'm gonna bring it over here to the cutting board, and then I'm gonna mix in the paprika. Okay, so now this has cooled a little bit. So I'm gonna add about 1/2 tablespoon of paprika, and I'm gonna give that a nice mix. And you can also put a splash of vinegar in here, which I am gonna do. I'm gonna take the bay leaves out, just because we're not gonna eat those. And I'm gonna put a little drop of vinegar, just like that, just for a little brightness. So you have the toasty garlic, you have the paprika, you have the flavor, mild brightness from the, all right. This is ready. So I'm gonna pour this over the cauliflower. I'm gonna pour this right over the cauliflower, just like this. Just like that. And that's how I'm gonna serve it. I'm gonna put the pot right on the table. Okay, so this is the parm pasta, and I mixed in that smashed sweet potato and the little bit of asparagus that I have left. And this tastes fantastic. So Voila. So I have that. I have the yummy, delicious garlic paprika cauliflower. And the chicken is about to come out of the oven. Okay, guys, this just came out of the oven. It smells amazing. And look at the bottom of the pan. I am so glad I put that parchment paper there. Yeah, so let me plate this up and show you dinner. Okay, guys, dinner is served. All I can say is that I'm glad he bought that wacky huge jar of duck sauce because this smells amazing and I know it's going to taste amazing. It looks so good. This is, oh my goodness, glazed chicken looks so good. And we have the broccoli with the crispy garlic, paprika. So yummy. The pasta is definitely not the star of the plate. It's a tie between the chicken and the broccoli. I think the chicken is the star, broccoli too. This was kind of just to have something else on the plate. But let me cut into that chicken and see how it tastes. Okay, my daughter just pointed out, Mom, you keep saying broccoli. I mean cauliflower. Okay, let's cut into this chicken. This looks so good. Cooked perfectly. Look at that. Let's see. That tastes so good, that glaze. That is delicious. Okay, let's taste the cauliflower. We got a piece of cauliflower here with some crispy garlic and the paprika. That is so good. Seriously, so good. I know some of you are probably like, the garlic is burned, it's bitter. This tastes divine. This tastes so good. So good. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go enjoy this amazing meal. And you know what? Even if you don't have a huge jar of duck sauce, I know you probably have, or some of you, because I know a few people that collect duck sauce packets, they just save them, and before they know it, they have a Ziploc bag full of it. I'm like, what do I do with all this duck sauce? Well, mix it with some Italian dressing and make yourself some oven-baked glazed chicken. And you know what? I bet it would be even better in the air fryer, crispier. Okay, thanks for watching, folks. Bye.